of Game Dev Tycoon, once again with the Marvel license, starting from scratch. We're going to take a little bit slower this time, so we don't crash and burn quite as magnificently as we did last time. Same thing, we're going to go for the green. Why not? Let's go with that one. That'll do. Yes, unlock our previous hints. So, as I said, this will be a raw playthrough of the game. No mods here, just straight up original Game Dev Tycoon. Pretending that we have the Marvel Comics license so we can make Marvel games for all different things here. So we've got 4 categories, 4 topics to pick from at the beginning: werewolf, UFO, business, and aliens. Business, we could do a Tony Stark thing, rocks on oil, even like a Wall Street Kid kind of game with Marvel Universe stuff, UFO, lots of space stuff, werewolf, werewolf by night, Jack Russell, which is a terrible name. We could do Jameson's son. It's a werewolf. Aliens. Why not? This will be an alien. So this is PC. Early on, so the adventure game is going to probably be like a point and click or a text adventure. Let's do an alien action game on the Commodore's. Pardon me, the Commodore 64. So let's see. So this is a game in which you play some sort of generic space hero, perhaps a Kree, and your quest is to blast a whole bunch of Badoon. Probably should have been Brood. I honestly don't remember what race the Badoon are. They're probably humanoid. But who cares? We'll say they're the bad guys in this game. You are a Kree soldier fighting against the Badoon. I'm going to make this a fun game to play, and who cares about the dialogue in a game of this style? I mean, seriously, we don't need that. We do not. Graphics up, sound pretty good, world design low, 2D graphics, basic sound, yes, let's go for it. World design should be higher, but according to how these games go, maybe... You know what? Next time, yeah, I'm going to pump world design up. Let's clear out those bugs. 11 design. Ooh. 14 for technology. Only have 20,000 left. 19 in the bank, but we should make that back real easy. Bloop, 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 bloop. So I'm not even going to wait for that to go through. We're going to keep going. We're going to go for business simulation on the PC. Let's see, what should we call this? Who else is a big business? Again, we could do DC stuff, but we're sticking with Marvel. So, Fantastic Four. We could do a patent sort of thing. Let's call it Armor Wars. So this is going to be a game in which you play either side of the equation. You could play Tony Stark, you could play Crimson Dynamo, you can play Titanium Man, you can play the Beetle, but rather than attacking each other physically, you're actually trying to invest in creating the best suit of armor, and you can even kind of steal technology from the other inventors as you're trying to invent your own. The last playthrough, All Games, was the periodical which favored us the most. So maybe Game Hero is going to be our fan this time around. Engine, stories and quests, low. Gameplay up, engine a little bit down. Favorable reviews, good start. We are sure to gain fans quickly. Well, let's see. In our first week of sales, broke 5K. Almost good. That's all we needed for our first. 39 whole fans. We are super popular. Some dialogues, just so you can have some interaction between the various leads in the game. 10,000 on our first, so we zip up from 19,000 to 75, which is a great shift. We break 100. World design, so you get some sound. Put it down a little bit. Doom, 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 doom. Hey, we broke 100. So we are doing well from our first game. ROI is the name of the game here. You must get that return on investment. There we go. A little extra on design here. Getting the new topic, new combo bonus. Yeah, we are not wasting any time. New topic, werewolf. Okay, pick genre. We could do an RPG. Action again. Platform. You know what? No. We'll do an adventure game. On Govador, simply because it's there. Let's call it Werewolf by Night, which is one of the dumbest titles for a comic book, one of the dumbest character names. So let's see, what kind of game can we have for the Werewolf by Night? This will be, as we said, an adventure game. It'll be kind of a point and click. Let's check out our reviews for Armor Wars first. 7. That'll still make us some money. Solid, here we go. All games. Game here, okay. So, stories and quests can be up. Something like the Scum engine. In which you are going to try and help the various villagers and such. As you go through, I guess not villagers, because you'd probably be in like New York 9 times out of 10. And by night, you'll become more action-oriented. You'll fight some bad guys. Maybe not side-scrolling. Maybe turn-based, like an RPG. Maybe it'll be more puzzle-based. So it'll be some inventory puzzles. The Govador, of course, based upon the classic Commodore 64. My family, we had the Commodore VIC-20 and Commodore 64 before moving on to console gaming. We never had an Atari in the house. We went from the Commodore PCs to the Nintendo. Ooh, I saw a 1. I'm not anticipating good things for this game. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, so dialogue served this game well. Apparently not very well. But we've got enough research here. We need to generate some game reports so we can get some research points and go ahead and start the option to work on our own game engine and learning some new topics. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Quick, 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 quick. Learn. Okay, level design not important. Okay, so Armor Wars. Let's go ahead and kick it up as we go. 210,000. The Invento is coming out soon. Forgive me if I'm skipping through all the text. I have read it before. It's basically saying that the in-game analog of Nintendo was about to launch their console. And we will... No, not new game. We will develop a new game... Can we not? Oh, here we go. A new game engine specifically to make games on the TES, which is their version of the old NES. I've always been in the camp that spells it out, the NES or SNES, as opposed to NES or SNES. But we did always call it, my brother and I, the NES Advantage as opposed to the NES Advantage, but we call it the NES Max, which is weird. We separated those two. Get a new topic. Sci-fi, vocab, transport, music. We are going to go for sci-fi because that opens up a whole lot of characters for us to work with. So as soon as the Nintendo comes out, we're going to spend some of this cash on a license to use it and make our first TES game. So develop a new game. We're going to pick the... Oh, is it not out yet? Alright, well, let's just go for it. What do we want to do? Let's do a simulation or a strategy game. No. We're going to do a sci-fi action game on the PC. So this is going to be a side-scrolling shooter where you will play as either a Kree or Skrull warship. In this version, let's make this simple for the times. You will play as the Kree, and I guess in the second version or an expansion pack, you could play as the Skrull. I want to give both sides, the ability to be the hero. People are down on the Skrull. I dig the Skrull. The first time I did a graffiti stencil, it was actually of a Skrull face. And I'm thinking there, Scritchy scratching his head. Of course, the Kree, always more associated with the Avengers and Captain Marvel, where the Skrull, more tied in with the Fantastic Four. So it was neat to see them crossing over, being in the same storyline. And they do have ties to, nice, bumped it over to technology, to the X-Men as well. Anytime you get in the cosmic thing, you're going to get the X-Men involved through the Shi'ar and Phoenix Force and all of that. Game tutorials and mono sound, we're going to need those when we start developing for the TES. Saw a 10 pop in there. Not anticipating getting it with the weak sauce that we have right now, but we're doing pretty well. This will make us some money. This will be a good ROI. Yes! A 9. Okay, that is a solid game. TS has been released. Okay, so create custom engine. Do we want to use anything yet, or do we want to save it and actually add some crap? We need to add mono sound first, so we're going to research mono sound. We don't need game tutorials. No Nintendo game had a playable tutorial. It was just, an instruction manual, and you play the game, and they were things you could figure out or things you wouldn't. Probably the best in-game tutorial was the most stealthy one that I ever played, and that, of course, was Super Metroid. When you played Super Metroid, you first went through it. You knew what you needed to do. So 120K. Wow, it's going to cost half our money. So let's call this one Timely. Our first engine in the Marvel Comics series will be the Timely engine. Back with Timely Comics before they became Atlas or Marvel. Was it Atlas first before Timely? I think it was Timely. Please feel free to correct me in the comments below. Boom, 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 boom. 160K out of the Kree Skrull War. Develop a new game on the TES. Action, RPG, sim, strategy, and adventure are down, which seems odd. You think adventure game? Well, again, I'm thinking adventure games as the difference between action is something like Kung Fu or Russian Attack, while adventure games would be something more like The Legend of Zelda or Metroid. And this thing, adventure, is probably thinking of things like point-and-click adventures in the Sierra mode. So what we're going to do... See, man, we are eating through our money. Genre. No, we don't. An RPG, a sci-fi RPG. Doable. But what do we want to do? Sci-fi RPG. I'm looking over here to my graphic novels shelf. On the Marvel side, Doctor Strange, Hulk, Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck. A Howard the Duck RPG. You are brought into the Marvel Universe. Shit. Okay, we're gonna go into debt on this game. I told you I was gonna take it slow this time around, but I guess I'm not. We're gonna just wail on the Nintendo game, and the bank's gonna yell at us. Yes, Jennifer Kale, Man-Thing, I forget the name of the other sorcerer, bring you into the nexus of all realities, and that brings you from your duck world to Earth. You have a few adventures with them, and the first act of the game. After that, things start to get really interesting when you settle in Cleveland. You meet up with Beverly and the other folks. And the primary villain, first, I forget the name of the vampire cow. So you fight a vampire cow, and then you will fight against Dr. Bong. If you're not familiar with Dr. Bong, that's probably because he's not the most famous villain in the Marvel stable. Alright, we have 1 month. We have like 3 weeks. This better get on the market soon so I can start making money, because if this goes below 50k, we're out. And I think my expenses are at least like 8 grand a month, so that puts us really close. Good reviews, 7.5 on an NES game. Start selling. Alright, I'm going to get a game report here on Badoom Blaster. That's coming in. Please, 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 please. Okay, so we're starting to sell. So it's going to sell before, but it's going to flip at the same time. 15k. Yes! Whew! That was close. We could have gone out of business really fast. Do a couple more game reports to get some research, and then we'll get some new topics and continue developing for the TES. Will we break 200k on this one game? Yes! Surprise hit. Thank you, Howard the Duck. I was just speaking with my mother today, actually, about Howard the Duck. She was watching Guardians of the Galaxy, and at the end she was like, is that Howard the Duck? I'm like, yes, that is Howard the Duck. And I was thinking about how upset DC must be at the prospect of Marvel getting not just Rocket Raccoon in a movie, but getting Howard the Duck in 2 feature films. Yes. Before Wonder Woman gets in 1. That's got to be harsh. I've got to just hurt. So research, new topic, time travel. We talked about this a little bit in our last playthrough, how you could easily go for, hey, 300,000. You can go for a Kang the Conqueror game, but this time around, I'm thinking a little something different. Game engine, we'll stick with Timely for now on the TES. We're going to do another RPG. We're going to do time travel, and we are going to do Dr. Doom's Pirate treasure. Now this comes from a really weird Fantastic Four storyline. Nice, almost 400,000. If I'm remembering this correctly, Doctor Doom sends like the Thing back in time to steal Blackbeard's treasure or something. You'll have to Google it. I'll have to Google it again. We are going to research market focus as this comes out. But yeah, that was one of Doctor Doom's plots. If you haven't picked it up, there is a supervillain team-up, Marvel Essentials, and there are 2 volumes. And I think at first it's just straight up Doctor Doom and Namor hanging out, straight up being dicks. And that's fantastic, because those guys are awesome. I think we're going to get a new record on design. Technology's pretty solid. There we go. This should sound even better than our last game. New records. Yeah, this will do good for us. This will do very well for us. Oh, I saw a 2. Maybe they don't like us going back to the well. But I'm playing this right now. Even though this company, Stone Age Games, will not have a focus on a particular genre, the 2 RPGs back-to-back, I'm encompassing both a Final Fantasy approach and a Dragon Quest. So these would be kind of like rival franchises within the same company. Over 15K in the first week. Not bad, almost 20. We are in the top 10. No new insights, yeah, because we pretty much made the exact same game, format-wise. Research, target audience. We will spend the money for that, not a problem. Almost perfect. 1.2 thousand fans. The interesting thing about this right here, with the age of the computer he has, is it's probably the only time in the game where that trash can is not filled with tissues. And we're going to research game tutorials. Why not? As we approach $500,000 out of our garage. Very nice. And research new topic, and then evolution. Is that going to be like a Pokemon game, or is that going to be like Spore? Music, transport, vocabulary. Let's do it. You know what? We're going to get it on the young audience vocabulary tip here. We're going to create a new engine, and we're going to continue making games for the TES, and then eventually I think that the Game Boy equivalent, the Gameling, will come out, and we will make a killing there. So, custom engine. Again, I'm going to include that. Just one change. Let's call it Atlas. $150,000 for this. Damn, that's expensive for our second engine here. So as the engine develops, we're going to cut this one off here, and we will pick up during the next session and see what new games we can create on the Atlas engine for the TES and the Gameling. If you have any suggestions for which characters you would like to see me develop games for, any storylines you want to see adapted, please just let me know. Put a comment down below, or hit me up on Twitter at ATI channel. And we will be back here next time for another episode of Marvel Games in Game Dev Tycoon. Catch you next time.